back to the Final Shot Podcast. Today, the podcast is brought to you by the official gloves of the Final Shot Podcast, USG Canada. My boy Cody the Crippler Crowley, he's going to be fighting February 9th in Peterborough, Ontario, so make sure you guys check that out. By USG Canada, the official gloves of the Final Shot Podcast. We are also brought to you by Onnit. If you're not on it, get on it at onnit.com/TFS podcast. Make your purchase. Use the promo code and you'll save 10%. If you guys are on YouTube, you guys can see who my guest is today. You guys might not know who she is. I don't actually know what you do per se, but I do know that you do some stuff for Eye of the Tiger Management, and you do a heck of a lot of stuff for Punching Grace. Guys, it's Emanuelle Estephan. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. Tell me what you do, because I don't actually know.
It's hard to put it into a few words. I do quite a bit in terms of ticket sales, marketing ideas, and it relays over from Punching Grace to Eye of the Tiger. It's my father's business, and so I help him out in any way that I can. We're a very small team, so we do quite a bit of the tasks all together.
Well, I did have the opportunity to do some work for you guys at the last KO boxing show. I had a great time doing it. And something I didn't know is that I actually made boxing history books by doing the first English and French simultaneous commentary on a show.
You did, yeah. We made history that night. It was fantastic.
How did it turn out?
Honestly, we're thrilled. Absolutely thrilled with the results. It was super cool to have you on board. And I mean, what more can you say from making history? You know, it's a feat in itself.
I was very excited for that show because there's a bunch of guys that fight for the Eye of the Tiger Management, mostly in Quebec, that I got to see live. Sadradine, I was very excited to see him. That guy's a killer.
Yeah, big time.
And Arthur.
Yes, yeah. They're real tigers.
Yeah, they're nasty, two nasty little guys. But I'll tell you, they're going to be future world champions.
I guarantee it. 100%.
So with the Punching Grace, now you guys have a streaming service. I know I've been shouting it out a lot on the show and on my Instagram and whatnot over the last little while. But you guys have a streaming service, and it's not just going to be solely for Eye of the Tiger shows.
No, as we did the December 14th show, it was a co-promotion with KO Boxing. So it's really an opportunity for boxers everywhere to be seen on an international level because it's available worldwide. And that's our goal. You know, a lot of our guys, it's hard for them to be seen in their smaller fights. So this way we build the fan base from the beginning.
And it's only $11 a month.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than Netflix, guys. And you can watch whatever you want on there. Not as when it comes to boxing, you can.
Yes, exactly. And it's not just live fights. You know, you're guaranteed 5 live shows a year, but it's also the repertoire of all of Interbox's fights, as well as Eye of the Tiger's fights dating 10 years back. So there's decades of fight history on that streaming service, as well as documentaries that are released nearly every week. So it's purely boxing content. For a boxing fan, it's a no-brainer.
I first got turned on to it with the Adam Braidwood, Simon Keane build up for that fight. You guys did the documentary, The Boogeyman, and then you did the Simon's portion, which were very well done. And my daughter was actually on it.
Okay. So that was your daughter. That's so cute.
Yeah. She's the Boogie Child, so she's kind of like our mascot.
That's adorable.
Yeah. So she'll be going to KO Boxing on the next event because, newsflash, Adam Braidwood's back March 9th.
Oh, that's great news. That's really, really exciting.
So with the teams back together, we got the band back together, and we'll be going right for March 9th and go handle business in Edmonton.
Super. I'm looking forward to seeing that then.
What is the next live event that you guys will be doing? Is it going to be the January 16th show in Ontario?
No, the next live event is going to be the January 26th show in Montreal. Okay. It's going to be Claggett against Germain.
Yep.
And as well, there's going to be a junior world title fight for Sadruddin in that card. And Arslanbek Makhmoudov, our other heavyweight, is going to be part of the card as well. So it's going to be really jam packed with talent.
Now, I do have invested interest in that G Time Steve Claggett fight, as Steve Claggett and I are fairly close. He is actually the guest of the year on my show.
Really?
Yeah, he was voted guest of the year. So I'll be paying attention to that fight very closely. I did talk to Steve the other day, and he maybe threw an idea that I come in and do the English commentary for that one.
I like that idea. I think it'd be important. Um, yeah, it's really, really, the hype is real. We feel the tension just talking about that fight. It's you've got that English-French dynamic, but as well as Steve won against one of our fighters, Yves back in 2017 in October.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a bit of a personal vendetta between our team and Steve.
Well,
So
Steve's team has a little bit of a personal vendetta too, seeing as how G Time beat Cam O'Connell and their sparring partners.
Yes, that's it. So the hype is real. It's we're looking for that Braidwood Keene kind of build up, and hopefully that's what we're gonna get because that fight, the ambiance was just unreal.
Oh, if you guys want the Braidwood Keene build up, you have to involve me.
Yeah, well, of course. That's why I'm doing this.
It's a very important fight for Canadian boxing, that card, because I believe Steve Claggett is at the top of the heap in his weight division in the world. He's got to be touching that top 15, top 10 area, and G Time is right there too.
That's it. It's going to be really the stepping stone. Whoever comes out of that fight winning it, it's going to determine who makes their career and who has to kind of rethink things.
And he's had some setbacks in his career where he's taken some fights. In my opinion, he won them and didn't get the decision. I don't know a lot about G Time. I don't know a lot about his past, but he is undefeated, right?
Yes, he is undefeated, and he's got a lot to prove. This is his first main event fight, so there's a lot on the line. And taking this big challenge like this, it's not going to be easy.
I always get nervous for guys when they come into a big fight like this and they have an O attached to their record, because Steve knows what it's like to lose. So he's going to come and fight as hard as he possibly can. Where Jermaine, he doesn't quite know what it's like to lose on that big stage yet. And it's always interesting to me to see if these guys, when they lose, if they can bounce back.
Yeah, of course. I mean, a setback is always the setup for a comeback, right? But I mean, we'll see. There's a lot on the line. He's very determined, and I don't think that Steve has ever faced how can I say this? Germain's boxing IQ is frustrating to boxers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a mental knockdown. When you can't touch a guy, it's almost more frustrating than when you can knock him down.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm very, very much looking forward to this fight.
I talked to Manny Montreal about the fight, and we were comparing to the Ulysses fight, where I believe that Ulysses probably technically is a better boxer than Jermaine, but Jermaine has he has an agenda, and it's planned out.
Mm.
From what I understand, if he's talking shit to you in the ring, it's already planned.
He's very, very technical. That's what we'll see in this fight. It's going to be a seriously technical bout, and beautiful boxing is what waits us for that main event. They both have their strong points, Ulysses and Germain, but they're at different points in their career. So, everybody has to make their steps up the ladder, and Steve is Germain's next step. So we've got to do what needs to be done.
Well, if you guys miss this fight, if you guys are listening and you don't order Punching Grace for $11 just solely for that fight, I'm disappointed in you, because it's literally one of the best fights that we'll put on in 2019 in Canada.
Yeah. We're starting off the year with a bang, that's for sure.
It's big. I wish the Cam O'Connell fight was on Punching Grace too, so I could watch it.
I know. Yeah, we'll try and get that footage up there as soon as possible.
Will there be somebody there recording that event? Do you know?
On well, it's going to be live.
January. Well, the Steve Claggett one will be, yes. I was talking about the Cam O'Connell one. You have more in the know of what I got
Oh
going on.
no, no, no. For now, I'm unsure.
Hmm.
Details that's still left to be confirmed. Yeah.
Okay. So last time I seen you face to face, you were having a good day and a bad day. Do you have an update for me on David Lemieux?
Yeah, David's back in the gym. He's working hard, and we're just focusing on moving forward. He's very young. He's very talented, and we believe in him 100%.
Now, could we maybe see a weight class up for him now?
I think that we'd like to try that out. We'd like to see him at 168. Truthfully, I don't really know what the next steps are.
Hmm.
He's very close to my father, but so long as he's healthy, he's happy, he's working hard, that's what the next steps are.
That hurt my feelings that he got. I don't even know how to put it. He just had a shitty weight cut, and he couldn't compete that night. But to see a guy that's been through the ringer, he's had some tough losses. He's been a world champion, and get taken out of a fight because of a weight cut. That's sad.
Yeah, yeah, I think everybody was a little bit heartbroken that day. It was really, really disappointed. But most of all, it was really worrisome. We were very worried for his health. And, if you don't have that, you don't have much in life. So you've got to take the safe steps, especially in a sport like boxing.
Yeah, and he's one of my favorite guys to watch because he's never in a boring fight.
No, no, that's for sure. You can always count on him to put on a great show. That's for sure.
He ruined my day in his last fight. He was fighting one of my guys, Gary Spike O'Sullivan. And
Yeah.
I really like Spike. He's fun, and David took him out quick.
Well, that was how the fight was going to go, right? I mean, with two big, heavy hitters, it was going to go by knockout, and it went in our favor. We were very happy. And that could have probably been qualified for one of the knockouts of the year in 2018.
Oh, it was nasty.
Yeah, yeah, big time. Didn't
Da-
last long.
David's left hook is one of the nastiest punches in boxing.
Yeah, yeah. And when you get hit off guard the way that Spike did, it's really mind blowing.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him in an interview afterwards, and he was saying that he just didn't know what had happened for a couple minutes afterwards. It's yeah, very devastating.
Now let's talk about somebody that's fairly close to me and
Mm.
and really close to you, which is going to be Mr. Simon Keane.
Yes.
What's next for Simon? He's ghosted me on social media. He won't respond to me. What's he got going on?
What we want for him is the rematch against Dylan Carmen.
Okay.
So we're working on that. But he suffered a bad loss in October, and so we have to make our steps slowly with him and make sure that his health is well enough, and that his mind is in the right place as well.
Okay.
It was his first defeat in career, and that if it had been a win, it could have propulsed him up to the big fights. So
Yeah.
it was really yeah, it was devastating.
It was a tough fight for me to watch because he beat one of my best friends,
Yeah.
and then Dylan Carmen came in. And I was really actually pulling for Simon in that fight. I wanted him to win that fight.
Yeah.
And then Dylan Carmen came in and wrecked the whole heavyweight division and with a few punches.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was very surprising. Everyone in that room was shocked that day, except for Dylan Carmen's entourage. It was, we didn't even know what happened. It was really, he was well prepared. And, at the end of the day, you can never underestimate your opponent.
Well, Dylan's been around the game for so long now, and even if there was a little inkling of underestimation from Simon when it comes in regards to Dylan, it's a bad idea. Dylan's a crafty veteran.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, no matter who it is, you can never underestimate your opponent in boxing. You never know what happens. So you've always got to go in well prepared and ready for anything.
Well, Dylan was smart. He stayed off of social media, didn't make Simon angry. Where we made that mistake, we pissed Simon off, and he came in and wrecked our day.
Yeah, that's it. It was that extra bit of motivation, the hype really built it up. And that was seriously lacking for this fight. He ghosted us.
Well, I
So.
I tried to get a hold of Simon because I really wanted to get behind that fight because I thought it was a big fight, and
Mhm.
he was just social media silent. There was nothing. I said, "All right, man, there's nothing I can do for you if you don't want to work with me." But realistically, I don't hate the guy. I think he's a great boxer, and I'd like to see him succeed until he fights my friend again.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back sooner rather than later, and he'll be ready.
What else we got going on for 2019 then from Eye of the Tiger? There's the other big heavyweight. What's his name?
Yes, Arslanbek Makhmudov, the lion.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's gonna take a couple tries before you can articulate it properly. Arslanbek Makhmudov. So
Arslanbek Makhmudov.
6'5", 240-pound giant.
He's huge.
And yeah, he's massive. And he's did you see his last knockout on November 24th?
Now, is this the guy that looks like the kid from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? He's got, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Same guy?
Yeah. He's scary. He's scary. But
I want to get
yeah,
him a
I mean,
bag.
he's going to be making some noise in 2019. It's hard to find opponents for him. You know, it's nobody wants to fight him, and he's still making his way. He needs to gain the experience, but his fights never last long. So it's been a challenge. But in 2019, we're hoping to see him in some significant fights and really see his progression coming through. I mean, we'll see on the next card how he does against a more veteran opponent. And yeah, we'll see. He'll be making noise in the heavyweight division, that's for sure.
When you kind of look into these guys, you look at their professional record, and it's not that deep, especially the guys that are coming over from Russia or Kazakhstan, because they have these things called semi-pro leagues,
Okay.
and they've had a lot of fights.
Hmm.
And especially, I'm just going to call him the Lion because it's way easier for me.
Yes, no problem.
He's had a lot of fights.
Hmm.
I think he's up around 80 fights or something like that, maybe more.
He's had quite a few, and he's had a very decorated amateur background as well. That's the thing with these guys from the East. They might not have a lot of fights when they come over here, but their amateur background is like ridiculous compared to here. 250, 300 fights. It's like just crazy.
Well, it's crazy because the actual amateur record too, they have like maybe 2, 5, 7 losses.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're
Yeah.
they're no joke once you look into them, and I don't blame some of these guys. No, I don't want to fight a guy with 300 fights.
Yeah. And over there, a lot of them, they live and breathe boxing. There's boxing schools where you live there, and that's all you do 24/7. So, I don't want to say the devotion because it's a passion, but it's kind of like a way of life
Hmm.
almost, you know?
You guys over at Eye of the Tiger, you guys have a giant stable of fighters.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
got Simon Keene, the Lion, G Time. Who else? You got? Ulysses. I don't want to leave anybody out that has something big coming up because I can't keep track of it all.
Well, an exciting one as well that we didn't mention is Stephen Butler.
Oh yeah,
Who's,
Steven.
yeah, he's making his way in the middleweight division very, very fast. He's progressing ever since his loss in 2017. He's really matured all around. He's a new man. And being a father, really taking his career seriously, we can just see the progression. It's phenomenal.
What's next for Steven then? Are we going somewhere else, or is he gonna keep continuing to compete in Quebec, or is he gonna go overseas or something?
I think for this year, we're going to keep him with the progressive fights. He's still very, very young. And hopefully in 2020, we'll see him in a world championship fight.
That'd be nice. I know that there's another Canadian guy that'd like a crack at him.
Hmm.
His name's
Yes.
his name's Cody Crowley.
Okay.
And as for boxers in Canada, Cody's at the top of the heap.
That'd be a great bout.
Be a
It's
it'd be a
put the
huge
local
fight.
bouts against each other. Yeah.
It'd be good for Canadian boxing. I know Cody can bring the heat too. He likes to do. He's on social media a lot. He's training at the Mayweather gym. And then Steven, his friggin' Instagram stories go on forever. I can't watch him anymore.
Yeah, he's very on it with his social media. He loves his fans. He's very devoted.
So I have a friend that trains in Quebec, and his name is Dario Berdisi, and he fights for. I don't even want to call him a rival promoter because it's not even close, but he fights for Yvon Michel.
Yeah.
And him and Stephen Butler have this love-hate relationship. So whenever Stephen posts something just I didn't stupid, I'm gonna call it stupid. He'll post dumb stuff. I'll screenshot it and send it to Dario, and then he'll like block me for a week.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Stephen Butler is he's a great boxer. I've enjoyed every fight that I've watched him compete in.
Yes, he's very exciting, and he surprises us. You know, he's really fighting. You know, he's 21 years old, putting out these fights that veteran fighters, the way that they fight, their style. He's on it 100%.
You have very good English for somebody that lives in Quebec.
Yes, well, my mom is English. I was brought up in an English household,
Oh.
but fluent in French and English.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's not even much of an accent.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, that's good.
I had Shaquille Finn on my podcast, and
Yes.
I was expecting to talk to like some George St. Pierre knockoff with the terrible accent, but he was fine too. But
No, well, especially Montreal, it's very, very multicultural. You know, I'm half Lebanese. My father's Lebanese.
oh geez.
And yeah, my mom is half Dutch. So I'm a big mix. And in Montreal, you see all nationalities. So it's really, you can get the really Quebec accent, but then you've got the West Islanders like me. Who,
Is that what they call you? As West
yeah,
Islanders?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I live in the West Island. So
Huh.
yeah.
Now you said that you were working today. Is this Eye of the Tiger punching Grace thing your full time gig, or is this a project?
Yes, no, it's my full-time thing.
Okay.
100%. Yeah, yeah,
Wow. Good
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I'm studying part-time as well, but this is what I want to do. I want to be in boxing.
Like you go to school.
No, I study from home. I study online, some
Okay.
finance, and yeah, I'm doing my Canadian securities course actually. Yeah, yeah.
What does that mean?
It's to get your license as a stockbroker.
Oh, I respect that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good. It's good.
But you said something that sounded like it was legal. I didn't know if you were gonna arrest me.
No, no, don't worry. I'm all legal.
So you're not very old either. I'm gonna guess 25.
24, 24.
24.
Yes, yeah.
So it that's a really cool thing that you're kind of be able to do what you want to do because it can't be work.
No, I mean it's a passion. I absolutely love it, and I made my way up slowly. It was only about 2, 3 years ago that I started full time in boxing, and I started out by cleaning the gloves for the fights.
Oh
Well,
wow.
after the fights, yeah, yeah. I
Wow.
I made my way up the ranks, so it's truly a passion, and I can't say that I'd want to be doing anything else.
So the goal for you is to take over for dad.
To work with dad. I love my
Okay.
dad.
At some point he's gonna have to retire though, and you're gonna have to take over.
We'll see when that day comes.
Well, we
Yeah.
have somebody that like whether you want to look up to her or not, but Mel Lubovic
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
is a powerhouse in
100%.
boxing, and she is the only female promoter that I know, and she does a great job.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I loved working with Mel on December 14th and having that connection. It's a very similar relationship that we each have with our fathers. You know, it's that work family thing. So I really connected with her, and she's a pleasure to be with all the time. Yeah.
She does a great job, and it's somebody that you could literally look at and aspire to be because you
Yeah.
guys are doing the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
And then who knows, maybe we get the Eye of the Tiger KO boxing team up and we got two female promoters and then all hell's gonna break loose.
Who knows? Yeah, that's it. Maybe that's how the end of the world starts.
Maybe, who knows? I see that you're very interested in horses.
Yes, yeah, big time.
Tell me, what is it that you do? Like, it's equestrian riding, am I right?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
I'm an equestrian and I practice English riding.
What's that?
It's a discipline of riding. There's English, there's Western. English is where we jump. I've posted quite a few pictures and videos, and we jump around courses, and it's really about making the horse look good and pretty.
Okay.
And currently, I'm training a horse with my sister. it's her horse, and so we share. She's young, she's learning quite fast, but she gives us a bit of challenges, and I absolutely love it. I've been riding for about 13 years now, and I absolutely love it.
You have your own horse?
Yeah, it's my sister's. It's my sister's. She'd be happy that I
Oh.
clarify that it's hers, but we share.
And what's this horse's name?
Her name is Dash. She's a gray horse. She's massive, and she's gray. And the importance that I'm saying that is that her name Dash is short for Dash of Pepper.
Oh.
So it's very, yeah, it's cute.
What kind of a horse is it?
Um, I think she's a warm blood. I have to ask my sister, to be honest. All I know is that she's huge and she's really she gives us a run for our money.
Yeah, I grew up in the country as a kid, and I had a horse,
Mm.
and I named that thing Horse. And it was an Appaloosa, and I hated it.
Oh no, why did you hate it?
It would bite everybody. He
Oh,
was a prick.
okay. They can be. They really, really can be.
But if you put a saddle on him, he's fine.
That's too funny. Yeah, it's kind of the other way around. She's never mean, but when you just go and see her and brush her, she's like a dog. Like she'll lick our face like a dog. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But then when you ride her, she's super anxious. So we have a lot to work with, especially in the winter. They get very, very cold. And so that makes them extra tense and really makes us grab onto the mane and make sure we don't swing off.
Now, to do these, this is an interesting thing to me because to do these courses where they're jumping and whatnot, there's got to be some like maintenance that goes into these things. Like, are you taking them to a massage therapist? Like, do they eat a certain type of meal? What?
Yeah, well, it varies depending on each horse. Because our horse is so anxious, for instance, we have to give her a very low sugar diet. But she eats a lot. Like she gets 3 meals a day, whereas most horses get two. And she gets exercise 6 times a week.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's a really big commitment. And it's not something that you can do, like you can go to the gym for 45 minutes and get a workout in. It takes roughly 3 hours every time we go.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's serious.
Why so long? What are you doing?
Yeah, because horses they need time to get prepared and they also need time to cool down. If they're not properly cooled down, they can get sick. So there's all these different things that we have to do. We have to brush them, we have to clean the equipment, we have to make sure that they're all okay, that their feet are good. It's a huge commitment.
Whereabouts do you live like right in the city?
No, I live about 20 minutes out from the city.
Okay, so you can just go to the horse whenever you want. Then it's not far from you.
Yeah, it's around 25-minute drive.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad. Yeah.
I always just imagine you people for some reason like living in these high rise things I don't know why.
No. Very low key. Yeah.
All right, well, I respect that. The
Yeah.
horse thing sounds like a lot of work though.
It is a lot of work, but it's a passion, if it's a passion, it doesn't become work anymore.
So you're 3 hours, 6 days a week, or do you
Not
split that
me.
with your sister?
Yeah, I split
Okay.
that with my sister, and she does most of the hard work. I'm only able to go once a week, so I only have my 3 hours. But it's my sister's horse, so she's got to take care of her.
And how is your sister's younger, right?
Yes, yeah,
How old is she? 17?
yeah,
Now, did Dad buy her that horse?
yes. It was a very big birthday present.
That's a very big birthday present.
Yes, yeah.
Dad
She
didn't buy you a horse.
Sorry?
So Dad didn't buy you a horse.
He did many years ago, but my horse passed away, unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah, he got sick. And there's these huge animals, but they're so sensitive. My sister actually had another horse a couple years ago as well, and she passed away within a year of us owning her. And she broke her leg, and you'd think that they're invincible, but they're so sensitive. It's crazy.
they're very expensive to keep.
They are. Yeah, the horse isn't expensive. It's the upkeep. It's
Yeah.
You pay for board, you pay for feed, you pay for the equipment, you pay for the lessons, and then if you want to go show, you pay for that. So yeah, it's a very expensive sport.
I figured you guys would just buy like a barn or something.
That's even more work. Then we got to be there 24/7.
That's true. You'd have to move there and then clean it out, and
Exactly, exactly. And then no more boxing. Then I'd be sad.
well, you could put the gym at the side of the barn.
At the same time, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Stable of boxers, stable of horses.
You and your sister could be riding around the arena, and Simon and Ulysses could be hitting the bag. You'd be fine.
Yeah, why not? Why not? It could be a new concept.
Sounds like it'd make money to me.
Yeah.
So what else? What else do you get to do then? You're working on boxing. You're working on promoting it. You're working on the TV aspect. You're screwing around with this horse one day a week for 3 hours. What else are you doing?
Honestly, that takes up all of my time.
You're done.
That's all I can do. I try to fit in more. But I wish I could, but I can't. There's only 24 hours in the day, and trust me, I use them.
Okay. Now I did get in some fan questions for you.
Okay.
You don't have to answer them if you don't want to.
Okay, go for it.
All right. So I posted that picture of myself, you, and Vincent Tremblay, and
Yeah.
Punching Grace, and all that nonsense, and blah blah blah. And everybody's okay. Who's the pretty blonde lady? Does she have a boyfriend?
Thank you, and no.
Well, hear that?
Too busy.
She's single. Hit her up. I won't give out your stuff, but hit her up. The next question: how long? I don't know if you're into the production of what goes into these shows, but how long does it take from the end of when you finish recording a boxing show? Like, let's take December 14th, until you can put it up as a video.
December 14th, that show was on a Friday night, and the full show was available on the Sunday, December the 16th.
Oh wow,
So it takes about 48 hours.
that's not bad at all.
No, no. Yeah, our team really works hard as soon as we finish to get it all up there. It's unedited, so you've got the breaks and stuff in there, but I mean, at least you get to see the fights, and you can just click and fast forward over to the one that you want to see.
You guys didn't edit it?
No, nothing.
Wow, I didn't drop any swear
Everything's in
words
there,
either.
Tanner. Everything's in there.
I didn't drop any swear words.
I know, we were very impressed. Yeah.
Now, how much trouble would I have got? This is my own question. How much trouble would I have gotten if I dropped a cuss word on there?
You know what? We like the raw. We would like the raw footage. So I don't know if you've seen a couple of our documentaries, but we leave the swear words in there. We want to give the fans the true experience.
I want another crack at it because I got some hate mail from people.
Well, we'd love to have you back. We were thrilled with how you did.
Because people are like, okay, well, why were you so nice?
Okay, so this will be like a remake.
Yeah, let's just redo it. Let's put all the same fights back together, and then I'm just kidding.
This can be Tanner version unleashed.
Yeah. Well, I know that Adam Braidwood has some aspirations to come over to Quebec again, and this time he will not be leaving me at home.
Well, the Quebec public really, really loves him, so I think that that could be a very realistic goal.
I have a lot of French fans for some reason over in Quebec. You guys like me?
Yes, yeah, we like the raw, real footage.
Yeah, I don't tend to fuck around too much. I like to just
No.
say it. If I want to say something, I'll just say it.
That's-
We have a mutual friend. Her name is Cynthia.
Yes, yeah. Cynthia is a big boxing fan.
I didn't know if she was like working with you, or I didn't know what she was doing. But she's just a huge fan.
Fantastic. She's fantastic. She's a huge fan.
Okay.
And she knows my father. They're neighbors, kind of. They live in the same area. And she absolutely loves boxing. She loves our organization. She's just 150% supporter.
I respect that.
Yeah, me too.
She's been at some events and they haven't been televised, and she's got her cell phone out for me and sent me a video of the fights.
Okay.
Whether she's gonna get shit for that now, I don't really care. Because I got to watch it.
We'll talk with her after.
But no, it was just a couple specific fights that I needed to talk about, and we didn't get it where I was, so she just FaceTimed me, and she'll hold and so I can watch it, and then I
Okay.
can talk about it. And if somebody does something dumb, I'll say they did something stupid.
Yeah, well, it'd be great to have you over at one of our shows in Montreal, and then you can meet her and fantastic.
I was I was supposed to go to the Simon Braidwood one, and then a family issue came up and I couldn't make it. And I
Hmm.
felt bad because Adam and I are really close,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be there for my buddy. But in some respects, I'm glad I didn't go because I don't know if I would have made it out of the building.
Yeah, it would have been hard. It's always hard when your boxer loses, and maybe it's for the better, like you said.
Well, I was emotionally invested in it too because Simon and I got into it, and then
Hmm.
he called me the weirdest names of all time, which would make me laugh because I don't think he actually knew what he was saying.
Hmm.
Like he would call me a slut. I don't know if that's an insult.
I think that he probably meant it as one.
Probably. I just said thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, it got heated.
It really did. It really did. And the ambiance in the room when both fighters came out, it was like unlike anything I've ever witnessed before in boxing. I can't even put it into words. It was unbelievable, the tension.
Well, some fantastic person out there, I don't know who it was,
Mm.
but they made sure that I knew that every time something was going live from Eye of the Tiger management on that week for the open workouts or the weigh-ins or there was a press conference,
Yeah.
somebody was sending it to me and they're like, "Hey, watch this now." I don't know who it was.
Okay. Good.
But
So you got to follow along and yeah.
oh yeah, like a couple times I was on Adam's phone, like as FaceTime video, and I'd be like, oh.
I think I remember that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I was there, but not at that, like not physically present. It was kind of neat because I could actually see how intense it was over
Yeah.
video because I was invested in it, and I was like, oh wow, this is real.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when you can feel that over a phone, that's when you know that the hype is really there.
It got serious real quick, and
Oh yeah, it really, really did.
I wish I was there. Hopefully, we can get that one done again. It'd be a great rematch. I think it's fitting
Mhm.
because realistically, I don't know if Dylan will give Simon a rematch. I think he says a lot of things and then doesn't do it.
We'll see. I mean, he can't hold on to the belts and not fight.
No.
So either way, we're gonna make our way back, and we have confidence in Simon 100%.
Well, okay. Here's a question. Then, will Simon get a warm up fight, or is he just going to jump right back into that
We'd like the Carmen fight, but we're
right
taking
away?
one step, yeah, one step at a time because Simon wasn't himself that night. He not taking away anything from Dylan. Dylan was more prepared. He was the better boxer that night, but there was something that wasn't there. So I think if he goes into that fight with the mindset that he had against Braidwood, then it would have been a different outcome.
You need an antagonist, and you don't have one in that situation, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I think unfortunately it was a hard lesson to learn, but I think this taught him that you don't always get the antagonist, you don't always get the hype,
No.
but you have to create it for yourself.
Well, I'll send a message to Simon then. Realistically, Simon, every fight should be a world title fight for you at this point. It doesn't matter anymore. Whether it's Adam Braidwood, Frankie Rill, Dylan Carmen, Stan Cermak, Christian Larondo, the fucking DJ Khaled, that guy you fought on TVA Sports, I don't care. Every one of them is a world title fight for you now. And if you can't bring the aggression that you brought against Braidwood to all those fights, then you might want to rethink what you're doing.
Mm.
But I think that he's a great talent. I think he has everything that he could go win a world title.
100%. Yeah, he's got the talent, he's got the skill, he's got to sharpen the tools every day, he's got to work at it constantly.
Mhm.
But, we're confident that he'll put in that work, and, the world is his.
And he's secretly funny.
He's hilarious. He's a character, Simon.
I wish we got more of it through like when you guys did the documentary, or even like his Instagram stuff or his I wish we could see more of that side of him because he's actually hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. He's a funny guy.
He's a big
Yeah.
goofball, and if I ever get to see him in person, I'll definitely shake his hand and tell him, like, listen, just be yourself, man, because you're hilarious.
That'd be great.
So 2019 is going to be a big year for you guys, from what I'm hearing. I won't release any kind of secret news that I've heard or rumors, but I believe that it's going to be a big year.
I believe so as well. Yeah, we're always aiming to do better than the last year.
Yeah. Niagara Falls.
Mm.
That's a place that I know that something's going to be going on, and I'm very excited for that.
I'm excited too. I'm excited.
We won't go any further about that, but I Have the Tiger Management is hands down the biggest boxing promotion that we have in Canada, and I hope you guys go coast to coast because that's something that we need here.
I agree, and thankfully with Punching Grace, that's something that we're working on. We're diversifying. We're giving the boxing fans what they want.
I would love to see you guys do a show in BC.
Yeah, we'd love to do that too. We're taking over.
Well, I can't wait. To January 26th is the next show, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Steve Claggett versus G Time. Who was on the undercard of that fight again?
We have Sadruddin Akhmedov in the co-main event for a world junior title. There's going to be Arslanbek Makhmudov, the Lion.
Mm-hmm.
There's also going to be Kim Clavel, Raphaël Courchaine, Francois Prat, who fought on June 16th. We've also got our guys from Quebec, Vincent Thibault, Clovis Drolet, and we have the pro debut of Lexin Mathieu from Quebec City. So it's going to be a really, really stacked card for that small ring at the casino.
I've heard that ring is very small.
It's very small. It's almost claustrophobic. When you get the heavyweights in there, it's like you want to back up. It's very, very tiny. So it should be very interesting.
What's the dimensions of that ring? Is it 16 by 16?
Yeah, it's the smallest, 16 by 16. Yeah. You're
gonna put that giant Russian in there?
Yep. Oh yeah. It makes for a great night of boxing.
Somebody's gonna fly out of the ring.
You know what? It's almost happened. It's almost happened, and the stage is right there. So if someone flies out, they're falling onto tables, they're falling onto media. It's
now
makes you grind teeth.
Now that I know the dimensions of this ring,
Mm-hmm.
the main event is very, very interesting.
Yes, yeah, it's going to put both boxers in a very tough position.
Because Steve don't go backwards,
Mm-hmm.
and neither does G Time.
That's it, and they don't have much room to move anyways. So, yeah.
Oh, you guys might have to bring me in for this one.
Yeah,
wow. Now, are we going to talk about this side bet that we got going on?
Side? Oh, sure, go ahead.
All right. So the other day we were chatting over the gram,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of said that G Time, it's not his time, and you told me to go screw myself pretty much. And I asked you to do a friendly bet.
Yes.
And something got lost in translation from French to English or English to French, and you threw money down on it.
Well, that's how confident I am, Tanner. Yeah.
You should have looked at the ring first, Emanuelle. Now you're in trouble.
But I also don't bet, so
Me neither.
I just thought that friendly meant not a lot of money.
Oh, we've done friendly bets where I've had to get a tattoo.
Oh, okay. That's a whole other thing.
So you want to hear a funny story?
Go ahead.
Okay. So Cam O'Connell fought Tony Lewis in Tony's hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And we got into it. I actually made national news for this one because I said something dumb. But I implied that the people of Cornwall were inbred. And, well, I didn't imply it. I actually said it in worse terms than that, which is not true. The people of Cornwall are not inbred.
Oh,
But they have a local radio show there, and they called me up. They're like, we want you to come on the show. I said, all right, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we made a bet that if Cam O'Connell won, they would have to get a tattoo of a clover leaf, and it'd be like something to do with Irish people beating. Who knows? And then if Tony won, I would have to get a tattoo of a lightning bolt blowing up a clover leaf.
Okay.
Cam lost.
Okay.
So now I have a tattoo on my foot.
You actually got it.
Yeah, you want to see it?
You won. Wow.
Yeah, I actually have. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my foot up this high. Hold on. You see that?
Yeah, off to the right.
Yeah. So
That's it shows that you have character.
hey, if I make a bet, I follow through with it. I
That's very
I
good.
wasn't anticipating a tattoo. I actually tried to get them to do it on the bottom of my foot so I could step on it.
Underneath,
You know,
okay?
yeah, you get it. But they
Yeah.
wouldn't do it. They're like, no, it's gonna rub off in 3 minutes. I said, all right. So put it on the top of my foot so I can at least cover it up with a sock so I don't have to look at it every time. But I do have an addition that will be going on to that tattoo, and it's Tony Lewis's autograph.
Okay.
I really like Tony's actually a really nice guy. He's a great boxer. He's one of the best we got in Canada, and he's a family man, and I respect him as a person and the people of Cornwall. You guys aren't inbred. But yeah, funny story. Well, we're not doing tattoos. We're doing $20.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, when did you said G time by decision, correct?
Yeah.
And what did I say?
You said Claggett by the 7th round body shot.
That's a good pick. Are you gonna cry when you lose?
No.
No?
No, because I'm not going to lose.
You're very confident.
I am. I am.
Does G time speak English?
He speaks a bit of English.
Bit of English, eh?
Hmm.
I'd like to do maybe 5 minutes with him. If he wants to come on, he's more than welcome at any time.
Sure, I'll pass the message.
Listen, any of your guys over in Quebec, they want to come on the show, they're all welcome. There's no animosity over here towards any of them at all.
Perfect.
I know some of them think I hate them. Simon, I don't hate you. I like you. It's all good. But I know I was going to get Ulysses on.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's signed with the Zone now, right? Is that how that works? How does it work?
I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that he speaks English, so that would be a good starter point. Yeah.
Bonus.
Yeah.
Good. Does he have a fight coming up?
Not yet. He's working on some things, back to training, back in the gym, but he just came off of a super big win in Madison Square Garden, on Dazin. So he's knocking at the doors of the big fights.
Okay, that's some drama we can get into. We can talk about that.
Yeah, 100%.
So Manny Montreal put out before that fight on DAZN with Ulysses that Ulysses was going to fight Steve Claggett on that card. Was that a real thing?
There was a lot of complications with it. It was the original wish, but it didn't port fruit.
Okay, because he messaged me yelling at me because I'm friends with Steve. Is Steve signed? I was like, okay, I don't know. This is boxing, man. We're gonna have to figure it out. Just wait.
Okay.
But I was excited for the fight because I like both guys. I feel that Steve did win the first fight, and I think they should redo it because it was really, really close.
I think there should be a rematch as well. I'm on the other side of the fence. I think that Ulyss won. Surprise, surprise. But I'm not sure if it's going to happen. We'll see. We'll see depending on how things go. After taking on that big fight at Madison Square Garden, we'll see how January 26th goes, and
He made easy work of that fight.
Yeah.
He didn't have a rough night by any means.
No, and he's really been working his way up. When he fought the Hebrew Hammer back last year on December 16th, that was a phenomenal fight as well.
What was that guy's name? Seldom something.
It was Seldine, something Seldine.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's gonna bug me too.
Damn it, because he had the weirdest style of all time.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, but yeah, it was very, very strange.
I was
And
confused watching it because the commentators were very they they're really pushing for this guy to win.
he was the favorite,
Yeah.
There's no denying it. He was the favorite to win, but Ulysse, he put his boxing to the test, and he came out the winner in a really phenomenal way. He made a huge statement, and he keeps making statements every fight. So, especially on June 16th, too, when he fought, I don't remember his name, his opponent, but he fought this massive 140-pound fighter. He was so tall, and his reach was just so long, and he made it look like a game.
Yeah.
So he's really one of the next big names in Quebec boxing, I think, and worldwide in the 140s.
And now when you look at Ulysses' body of work so far, and then the fight that him and Steve did have, which was very, very competitive and very close.
Yeah.
January 26th, I'm gonna win. Nothing.
Can't say yes, Tanner.
All right, well, let's wrap this thing up. Where can everybody, you go to punchandgrace.com, hit subscribe, pay your $11 a month. What do they get with that?
Okay, so you're guaranteed a minimum of 5 full shows a year, as well as 80 fights a year. Because sometimes, we have our main events on TVA. So what we're trying to do is get our undercards available on Punch and Grace so that you can see the whole event. Yeah, so you're going to get many, many fights throughout the year, as well as the records of Interbox. So that's 20 years of boxing. Eye of the Tiger, 10 years of boxing, all onto this archive of fights. And as well, we're releasing documentaries focusing on fighters every week. They're about 5-minute documentaries, as well as documentaries that are on there. They're like 22 minutes that we've been doing over the past couple of years. It's really interesting to see, especially the evolution of of Simon, of Stephen Butler, of David Lemieux. You get all of this content, and it's just $11 a month. It's like a no-brainer.
It's cheap. It's a no-brainer. If you don't do it, I'll be mad at you.
Yeah, I agree. So will I.
Do you have any questions for me you want me to answer today?
No, I just want to say thanks, Tanner. It was great.
Well, thank you for coming on. Don't hang up right away. I'll talk to you off the air for a couple minutes. But guys, as always, the podcast is brought to you by USG Canada. Hit them up, get some gloves, if you want custom ring attire, hit up USG. We're also brought to you by Onnit. If you're not on it, get on it at onnit.com/TFS podcast. And that's the final shot.